Sit back, let's unpack. It's MMA Shack. Today we're going to go over UFC 323 Fight Night predictions, and this is going to be a good card. Not the greatest, but it's pretty mid for the end of the year card. Last pay per view, you expected a little more, but that's what the UFC does. Uh, Constantly fumbling. Their matchmaker's not up to the task anymore, but that'll be another rant video. Let's get right into it. Muhammad Naimov versus Marion Santos. Naimov puts on the pressure, tries to get close, decision fighter, but he has no sense of urgency. Doesn't try to edge the fight. He's just, pit patter. He just does his own thing, makes sure he doesn't really try to win the fight. He just makes sure he doesn't get finished. He's trying to basically not lose, but he's also not trying to be, not trying to win at times too. Santos is low volume, but he's very technical. He has good takedown defense and he has a lot of power. Both are durable, but I big favorite would be Mario Santos. He is a big favorite right now. The it's it's constantly going to his side. It's more than minus 250, I think, right now for him. And so day by day, he's getting a bigger, more favorite. I feel like Muhammad Naimov might edge this for a decision. I feel like we might see a close split for Naimov uh, because Muhammad Naimov is durable. I don't think that Mario Santos will put him out. And I feel like he can just try to edge the fight even though he doesn't edge it well. So I feel like this is going to be a coin flip. It could go either way. Santos does have the power. I won't be surprised if Santos just wins at 30-27. But I do see this as a split, and I could see Muhammad Naimov edging this fight. So that's going to go. That's going to be my pick. Mansour Abdul Malik. This is going to be like one of the biggest favorites on the card. I feel like it's already going to be more than a minus 1200. It's Mansour. I don't know why I'm butchering that one. Mansour Abdul Malik. He did have a draw out, not a draw, no contest his last fight with the due to a headbutt, and they did score it for him in the scorecards, but I know his opponent's like, nah, you can't do that if it's a headbutt, if it's no contest. Commission's like, yeah, you're right, you can't do that. So now it's a no contest. But he wasn't doing, incredibly like a minus 1200 favorite well in that fight. But Antonio Troccoli, he's not a good fighter. He's on a two-fight skid. He's on his way out. Mansour, I feel like he deserved a bigger name than Troccoli, but that's understandable due to him getting the headbutt, the whole no contest. You got to put his name back up out there. But I feel like Mansour, he's a big wrestler. He's going to take the fight to the ground. But I feel like it's just going to be like a decision win for Mansour Abdul Malik. That's my pick for him. Ibo Aslan versus Iwo Baraniewski. Ibo and Iwo. So I'm gonna go with this is gonna be a hard fight because Iwo is he is unranked. He's coming in. This is his UFC debut. He is the big favorite. He is very young, but also Ibo is young too. They're both young. They're both in their primes. I know that the reach advantage is slightly on Ibo. He has 77 reach, whereas Iwo has 73.6 reach. But this is going to be a lot closer than people think. Ibo has a lot of power. He has more power than Iwo. When I say Ibo, I mean Ibo Aslan. I don't want you guys confused with Iwo. Ibo Aslan has more power than Iwo. He relies on only power though. He doesn't have the ability doesn't have the technical ability to actually, outstrike his opponents. But he's just going to rely all on his power, try to aim for a knockout, and only that knockout. He can gas out if he, constantly gets to the ground. Iwo is going to try to get that fight to the ground. He can wrestle, he can strike, he's well rounded and has a lot of power. I feel like Ibo has the more power though. And so my pick is going to go with Ibo Aslan. I know it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be hard to predict because Iwo is going to be making his debut on a big pay per view card. The big lights. It does shock some people at times. They do freeze up. Ibo Aslan could take advantage of that unless Iwo is, nice, calm, cool, collected, and if he doesn't get the whole UFC pay per view card to his head, I feel like he can get this fight and a decision win for himself. But I would say Ibo Aslan, that's it, round three knockout, maybe sooner. I'll give him by knockout. Only way he would win is by knockout. I don't see this fight going to a decision. If it does, it's just going to be Iwo just wrestling Ibo Aslan until Ibo just gassing out and just accepting to being on his back. And we go to the next fight. Edson Barboza versus Jalin Turner. Ooh, okay, this vet. Okay, we got Edson Barboza, big vet. His eyes drooping now. He's a big vet. He fought Khabib. He been through many generations all throughout his career. Jalin Turner, he just started his not just start, but like he's still in his prime, but he's honestly like fumbling his prime. He retired last year, or yeah, he retired last fight after his last loss. But then he's like, he decided to come back after. So we're going to see if, is that due to money? Is that due to a new fire ignited in him? Uh, Edson Barboza has the more experience. They both lost their two fights, though. Jalen Turner is 9 years younger than Edson Barboza. Um, and Jalen's a big favorite, but I feel like Jalen shouldn't be this big of a favorite. He shouldn't be a 3-1 to Edson Barboza. I don't. I think this is going to be a more mental game, and I feel like if it's not going to Edson's or Jalen's side. If Jalen's not, feeling like he's winning, I feel like it's going to mentally impact him, and I feel like Edson can edge this fight as long as Edson's eye doesn't, close up. I feel like he can get this fight to the judges. I feel like he can take this fight to a 20 split decision. I feel like he wins this fight. Edson wins. I feel like Jalen Turner doesn't win this fight. I feel like loser goes to the PFL. I feel like if Edson loses, he should retire. He's 39. You don't need to take all the CT damage now. Let the young people come in. But Jalen, I don't think he has that fire ignited him in anymore. I feel like he lost the love of the game, so my pick was going to be for Edson. On to the next. Marvin Vettorri versus Bruno Ferreira. Marvin Vettori is on a 3-fight losing skid, but I would say do not look too heavily on that. He lost against very high ranked, very strong opponents, and I feel like Bruno Ferreira will also lose to those three opponents that Marvin Vettori lost. Marvin Vettori is a push forward fighter. He's steel face. He doesn't get knocked out. He's fighting a lot of vets as well. He has more experience. Bruno Ferreira is more of like a bounce in, bounce out type of fighter. He's fast on his feet and careful, so he's more technical. But I'll say Marvin Vettori has the cardio and the chin to go all 3 rounds and eventually walk down Bruno Ferreira. I have my pick as Marvin Vettori for decision. Faris Ziam, versus Nazim Sadykhov. Ziam is a young, great, up and coming prospect. And Nazim Sadykhov is still a great prospect. They're both strong. They're both durable. Faris Ziam is more technical and he can grapple. He has no output, but the output he does have is very significant, and that's going to favor Faris Ziam in this fight. Nazim Sadykhov, he's a high output fighter. He throws a lot, constant. He has a cardio to endure 3 rounds, and he has a chin. Doesn't give up too easy, but I feel like it's going to be a lot more of Faris Ziam's pace. He likes this. He's very calm, cool, collected. He's not going to go in there and start throwing a lot. and get two into his head. He'll be grounded, keep the fight to him, and I feel like he this is going to be a strong decision win for Ziam. On to the next. Maycee Barber versus Karine Silva. Yeah, we'll go with Maycee Barber. Sure. I don't know these fighters. Don't care. Next, Terrance McKinney versus Chris Duncan. This is going to be a great fight. This is going to be a crazy back and forth fight. Chris Duncan will try to take the fight to the ground. Terrance McKinney would want it standing up. It's going to be Terrance McKinney has a great first round. Amazing first round. He doesn't usually see the second round. He doesn't like, you know, seeing the judges. He doesn't take it to the judges. He'll either knock himself out or knock out the opponent. He doesn't like seeing the judges. Chris Duncan, he's likes to keep it on the ground, wrestle, tries to grapple. But I feel like Terrance McKinney has better hands. Chris Duncan blocks with his face. He gets hit a lot. He gets dropped a lot. Nowadays, judges feel like they're stopping a lot of short. They have a lot of, early stoppages. And I feel like Terrance McKinney will capitalize on that. I feel like Terrance McKinney will get a first round knockout or first round TKO and drop Chris Duncan right away and get the fight, get that back in his on a 3-fight win streak. On to the next. Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torress. Oh my God. Oh my God. Grant Dawson, why are you doing this to us? Please, God. Okay, I like wrestlers. I like watching Islam fight. I like watching all the Dagestanis fight. I like ground game a lot. I like submissions. I like all of those. But Grant Dawson, that's even hard for me to watch. He's just a slug on the floor. Doesn't move well. If the judges from Yalton Almeida's fight come in, I don't think he'll win this fight. But I don't think the judges are in on this card. If it is, nice, a win over Grant Dawson, Manuel Torress. If not, Grant Dawson, nice win over Manuel Torress. Because Grant Dawson is going to lay on Manuel Torress. He's not going to strike with him. If he strikes with him, that's a dumb decision. That's low fight IQ move. You do not want to strike with Manuel Torress. Manuel Torress has great power, great output, and just very dangerous on the hands. And I feel like that will be Grant Dawson's downfall. If he tries to strike with them, he's going to get put out. If he doesn't strike with them, often, I could see him edging all 3 rounds, 30-27, dominant wrestling decision for Grant Dawson. I don't know why on the future prelim fight. This is going to be extremely boring fight to watch as a feature prelim, but this again, UFC is making their terrible decision making as usual, and not surprised at this fight's placement. But I feel like Grant Dawson is my pick. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Oh my God. Okay. Jan Blachowicz, this amazing vet. I would say this Polish power guy's coming to the ring. He's on a 2-fight losing skid though, but he's strong. The 2-fight losing skid is against, high level fighters. I don't, put that against him. Bogdan Guskov will probably lose to them as well. Bogdan Guskov won his last 4 and is almost 10 years younger than Jan Blachowicz. So you have to take that into consideration. He has the age advantage, but Jan hits hard. Jan has better skills. If this was prime for prime, if this was young Jan Blachowicz, he walks down Bogdan Guskov, he wins this. But I feel like age is getting to him. It's 205. He's almost 43. Bogdan Guskov is going to win this fight. That's my pick. I feel like Bogdan Guskov is either going to put out Jan or win by decision. I got him by decision. Let's see where that goes. I feel like this is... But Jan does have power. I could see Jan knocking out Bogdan Guskov or just wrestling him. So this will be a big coin flip, but I'm just going to say edging it wise, Bogdan Guskov wins this fight. On to the next. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Henry Cejudo, I think this might be his retirement fight. I feel like there's only 2 ways fight goes out, either Peyton Talbot knocks out Henry or Henry ragdolls him in the wrestling. It's no secret on Henry's game plan. Henry's going to try to wrestle him the entire time. He saw how Ronnie Barcelos went. He's going to try to do the same thing. He's going to try to get that win. Peyton Talbot knows it's coming. But the one thing I haven't seen Peyton Talbot is like he doesn't dig deep. I feel like he doesn't take it as seriously. He's like the Kevin Holland of the bantamweight division. He doesn't take it as seriously. He just, he's extremely skilled, but he just does what he wants. And if he doesn't dig deep for this fight, I feel like Henry Cejudo wins this fight. He needs to dig deep. He needs to have good takedown defense. He has to show what he learned from the Ronnie Barcelos fight. If he doesn't, this is going to be Henry Cejudo all day. It's going to be a big change. But I feel like Henry Cejudo can edge this fight. I have Henry Cejudo winning it. I know it's a big age gap, 10 years as well, just like Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan. I know I picked the younger fighter, but I would say Henry Cejudo has the more experience. He has way better fight IQ than Peyton Talbot. And I feel like he can edge this fight. And I feel like he wins this because of seeing how Peyton Talbot was getting taken down at will by Ronnie Barcelos. Henry Cejudo is going to come in the same game plan. Let's see if Peyton Talbot learn from it. If he learn from it, this will be Peyton Talbot's victory. He's going to easily win this fight. If he hasn't learned from it, he's going to lose this fight again. Well, not again, but he's going to have another loss to a wrestler. Because Henry Cejudo has a lot better fight IQ. But that's how it goes. On to the next. Brandon Moreno versus Taisura Taira. This is gonna be a hard fight. It's gonna be a coin flip as well. It could go back and forth. But I feel like Brandon Moreno edges this fight. I picked Brandon Moreno against Albazi. I know, terrible pick. But I just I felt like at the time Albazi would have edged it because he had a long layoff, so we didn't know what kind of Albazi was coming into the fight. Brandon Moreno, more experience, better hands than Taisura Tara. Taisuro, great on the ground, phenomenal on the ground, but it's hard for him to get the people on the ground. So we'll see how that goes. Brandon Moreno has great takedown defense, so I don't feel like him is going to be taken down at will. I feel like he might get taken down once or twice by Taisuro Tara, but I feel like on the feet, it's going to be Brandon Moreno's world. He's more awkward on the feet. He can take Taisuro Tara and deep waters on the feet, and I feel like Taisuro is going to shoot like his life depends on it. I feel like Brandon Moreno is just gonna pitter patter, piece him up, bounce in and out on the feet, and get the victory as a decision win over Taisuro Tara. But Taisuro Tara is still young. He's very durable. He's a great up and coming fighter. 25, almost 26 years old. Top of the division as well, and he will be champion one day, maybe. It depends on, if Muhammad Mokaev comes in. If he does, he ain't seen that belt. Muhammad Mokaev is coming in and will take that belt from all these fighters. And for the champion fight, next fight, Pantoja versus Joshua Van. I got Pantoja. I feel like Pantoja is levels above Van. Van is a great fighter, high output fighter, great on the feet, very extremely durable, but he's too young. I feel like Joshua Van can fight for the title. Again, this is not his one and done. Sorry. It won't be one and done. He will fight for the title again, 100%. He's not going to be, just retire after this fight or be exposed or fraud checked. You can't be fraud checked at this lane in this top of the division. But I feel like this levels, and Alexander Pantoja is levels above Van. I feel like this is going to be a long night for Van, but he's very young, and he's going to be learning a lot from this championship fight, but he's not going to learn by winning it. And I have Pantoja by submission. I feel like Pantoja is getting better on the ground by fight. He's been submitting people his last two fights, and I feel like this is going to add another one. I don't think Pantoja is going to risk, standing and banging with Joshua Van. Anything can happen. If Pantoja can't get clipped, he is 35. Anything can happen. But I see Van getting submitted. I have Pantoja winning by sub round 3. On to the main event. Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan. Oh my god, this fight. Ugh, I can just hear Merab. Guys, listen up, listen up. Peter Yan is so good. He's so good. He's so strong. He's gonna knock me out. He got his right hand back, bro. Merab, he's gonna shoot 400 times. He's gonna land 10 of them. Control Yan for 2 minutes. Showboat for the other 15 minutes. And then we got a 50-45 Merab. I feel like this is just going to go the same as the did last time. I don't think Peter Yan is going to bring anything different. I don't think Peter Yan is, he's going to get taken down at will. And just over and over and over again, people are going to be like, oh my God, he's downloading data, guys. He's downloading data. It's going to be like round 5, 1 minute left. He's going to start piecing up Merab. Finally, the data has been downloaded, but if only he had 10 more rounds after that. But I have Merab steamrolling Peter Yan again. I don't see this fight going any different. Yeah, I got this 50-45 Merab decision. I don't think Merab finishes Peter Yan at all, not even close. But who knows? I feel like the best fight was with Omar Nurmagomedov. We'll see if we get another rematch for that. I know Omar is having a second fight in January against Davidson Figueiredo. It's going to be another win in his column since his loss against Merab, so that'll be 2 fights he gets. I feel like the next fight with Omar and Merab would be fighting for the belt again, maybe White House, maybe in June or May, after Ramadan, obviously, but we'll see where that goes. And these are my picks. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you pick, if you like my decisions. My picks. If you don't, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. I like to take any, to know what other people think as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.